Okay,
You're
well,
on.
I'm on. Thank you, Mark. It's great to have you aboard on the team. I got to tell you, just to have that sense of support and your experience, real pleasure.
Great. I'm happy to be
Uh,
here.
First of all, I'd like to thank you all for participating, and I'd like to welcome you to the Tapestry. And it's been a long time coming, and I can't believe we're really starting this up. It's pretty fabulous. I've got some notes here that I'd like to read through and speak out with you as a way of introducing this whole thing, this project, this adventure. And I look forward to all the pieces that are coming. Let's see. And it's all new, so I'm real happy to receive any feedback as we go through, any thoughts or suggestions, what's working, what maybe isn't working as well, and just let me know. I've never led a webinar before. This is live, and hopefully all that's going to be just fine. Okay, so I'd like to start with some opening remarks about how I understand the tapestry. What I hope it will do, how it functions. As I've been developing it, there are three basic roles. One is to help us deepen our work, to locate more fully our own creative inclinations and temperament, manifest that in our work as directly as possible. The second is to help us build an engaged painting community, some sense of communal endeavor, sharing that together. And the third role is to help us recontextualize what painting means today, both for ourselves, what's my painting practice, and what does this mean to me? Excuse me. Sorry about that. I should probably turn that off. Let's see, how do I do that?
See, this is the joy of live presentation.
Totally. This is exciting. Ringer, call, I don't know.
We can handle a ringer. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Anyway, where were we? That was for my daughter's school. Third role is to recontextualize what painting means today. For ourselves, what's my painting practice and what does this mean to me? But also, how does painting function today? What does it mean today in our world? So this first part of the tapestry, the webinar section, we're going to be focusing on exercises to help us locate for ourselves in our painting practice, our way of working, to catalyze our life force, to engage more deeply, to get more fully involved in our work. And through that involvement and engagement, to bring more presence, more life force, and energy into the painting. So before I get more deeply into all of that and going through the demo, I want to clarify what I mean by an engagement with paint in a larger context. When I speak of a recontextualization, what exactly am I talking about? So let's begin with our current context. We live in a time where, even though we know, certainly because we're all painters, we know there's deeper meaning to painting for ourselves, right? It has something to do with feeling alive, being alive, wanting to explore that, share that with other people. And we get that part, but we live in a time we're in an extraordinary crossroads, and a great deal of meaning seems to be getting lost. If not permanently, then at least temporarily. And the art world seems to be overwhelmingly involved with the art market to such an extent that sometimes they seem like they're the same thing. And it's not just that there's an art market with these insane prices for certain work up at the top. That really seems to be impacting the way we all think about our work and how we think about our whole creative engagement, right? So, that I paint, this thing that I love, that's been with me all my life, it gets somehow all mixed up in my head with billions of dollars and mega galleries and all this stuff, this craziness. And even if I know that's really not my deal, still, it's like I may end up feeling that my work isn't really that important because I'm not in a gallery. Or if I'm in a gallery, I may feel like it's not that important because I'm not selling, or I'm selling but not for high prices. And it just goes on and on. That is, the whole economic aspect really affects how I experience my relationship to my work, to my painting, to my creativity. And we really don't have an alternative structure. We don't have any counterbalance for any of that, because what we really are doing is exploring and investigating the depths of our lives and sharing that through painting with other people. That's the real deal. And the rest, it's craziness. And if it's not like outright craziness, it's still, there's some kind of distortion going on. So structurally, things are out of whack, out of balance. And the art market's not going to disappear, but we don't have an alternative. And so the distortion's going to continue. So I've been trying to think about some kind of corrective, some kind of counterbalance, a counterforce that is in some way non-financial, right, in its nature, something that would pull us back towards foundational aspects of human being, back to our roots, to our creative roots. We've been painting for 40,000 years. So that's my hope, to lean towards some kind of alternative structural force to bring us back to some kind of human balance. That's what I'm hoping the tapestry will accomplish. And clearly this is just a very beginning. I really can't imagine, it's not going to change and it's not going to morph, and I don't know where all this is going to go. So we'll see as we go what happens. I'm interested in helping to create some kind of alternative, not just in terms of us, a community of painters, but also an alternative in terms of a reliable sense of meaning that doesn't rely on a market and buying and selling and all of that. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with the market and gallery structure. But when that becomes the determining factor for meaning, things get distorted. So that is how I understand, let's call it, say, the outward or social or cultural aspect of the tapestry. And so that this is not just for ourselves individually and a shared community, but how we can keep a sense of meaning as our world goes haywire. I mean, it's getting nutty. And I'll speak to more of that in the sessions as we go. And please feel free to ask me about anything that I'm going on about. That helps if you have questions about any of that stuff. So, okay, now on a more practical level, in this part of the tapestry journeying, this is going to be an 8-week webinar series, and I'll be demonstrating 8 different exercises each week, a different exercise, to give us all an opportunity to explore different ways of working: abstract, representational, slow, fast, drawing and painting, analytic, intuitive. And through this exploration, each of us will begin, if we're not familiar already, to locate for ourselves our own unique creative temperament. Each week, there'll be a different exercise. Some of these exercises may be more familiar than others. For some, it'll be new. But wherever you are in the, in familiarity, my hope is that you'll practice or try on the exercise and see how that goes, and explore it. And if you're so inclined, post it on the Facebook page for the members only, and we can share that together. And I'll be commenting and we can comment on each other's work. Not so much a critique as just, the challenges or the sense of achievement or the questions or the journey together. For those of you that are continuing on to parts 2 and 3, these exercises will be a kind of raw material for us as we move into the integration process and figure out our own direction. And also, these exercises will be available for the gifting process that we'll be putting together for part 2. And I'll be explaining more about that later and contacting you all directly. Okay. So these exercises are set up to help us locate for ourselves where we resonate, where's our juice. Through that resonance, through that engagement, we get more life force, more charge, more presence into our work. And as that charge grows, the image has more power, the painting has more ability to catalyze the viewer's experience. And so the viewer gets hit by it more. And then the whole field, the whole situation of maker and receiver, everything just becomes more awake. So these 8 exercises that we'll be doing, the first ones are going to be drawing exercises. I often find it easier to locate my energy more quickly, more directly when I'm drawing. It seems to feel like there's less at stake. So, it's less precious. I can experiment more. So we've got 5 drawing exercises. The first that we'll be doing today is going to be a blind contour drawing, and then an expansion of that. And I'm not sure how to describe it. You'll see. I'll go through it. So that'll be today. Next week, we're going to be working from observation and measuring, but I'll be speaking out a different way of thinking about that whole process of measuring. The third, again, we're going to be looking at this still life, but working more gesturally, more intuitively. The 4th and 5th exercises will be non-representational, abstract marking, experimenting with materials. Then the next 3 will be painting exercises. Exercise 6 will again be from the still life and looking for an objective set of tonal relationships. So looking at the color and trying to explore that. And again, I'll be talking through how to use that whole perceptual engagement in a more open way. 7, working again from observation, but more gesturally, more intuitively. And the last exercise will be exploring paint handling and marking non-objectively, experimenting with the materials. So those are the 8 exercises that we'll be going through each week. So my hope is to cover a range of attitudes, of ways of working, to kind of locate for ourselves, well, that works for me and that works for me, and try to figure out, that not so much, this, yeah, I never tried that before, and so seeing for ourselves what pieces really turn us on and start figuring out how to put that together. Okay, so that is, I think, my opening stuff. Okay, now I get to move into actually doing something, not just talking. Good. That makes me nervous. Okay. So I've got some notes here about what I'm doing, but maybe, all right. Do I want to talk about this more? I've been talking.
You're doing great, Jordan. Everything's
Thank
coming
you.
through very nice. It's tough to.
I'm out of here,
It's hard to talk into the void. You're doing a great job.
I'm talking into the void. You're all out there?
We're out here. Hooray.
All right. get rid of that. Okay, good. Let's do something. Okay, so here's my coffee. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna do what we know as a blind contour drawing. And so how I understand this exercise is a way of working that allows me to drop into my seeing. I'm not worrying about, right? It's a blind contour drawing, so no one expects me to make it look like this, right? So that's off the table. Who cares? It doesn't have to be legible or anything like that. And I just want to get into my seeing and look and get intimate with my perception and have my touch get close or be with my seeing. So, okay, I'm not looking at this. I'm just looking out here. And I'm going to place my pencil on a charcoal and start to slowly look at the side of, I'm drawing this side, the left side for me of that pink glass vase. And I'm slowly letting my eye move up the side and have my touch, my mark, be in sync with my seeing. So I'm trying to slow down my eye and now I'm up at the top opening of the vase. Now, I don't have to follow the object. I'm not really drawing the vase. I'm just looking. So I can turn off here. This is now, I'm on the side of the cloth. The light is coming in. I'm not sure you can see from there. It's here I'm looking. And I'm kind of meandering and just it's like going for a stroll and just letting my eye go along an edge, a contour, letting my hand mark in sync. I want to integrate. I want to bring close my mark and my seeing. And now I'm with the green vase, this guy. Now I just drop down back to the edge of that cloth. Oh, there's an apple. Oh, look, hi, apple. I don't know if you guys can see the apple from where you are. So this is just a way of slowing down and getting here, right? So one of the things that becomes important when we work is being present. We want to really be here. And this is an exercise that just, I'm not worrying about how it looks. I'm not, what am I going to do with it? Or it's just a way, it's contemplative. Through my seeing and through my touch. Now, if I want, I can come back over here and, okay, I'm here, fine. And then I just go back and I'm not looking here, I'm just looking here. And now there's the side of the apple that's in front of the vase. There's that brass coffee maker, Middle Eastern coffee maker. And
Jordan, I'm going to share with everyone your photograph now, if that's all right, just so they can get a kind
Sure.
of close-in view.
Yep.
I'll just have it up there for a minute.
Yep. I want to see.
Here it
What does
comes.
it look like? Yeah. So now you see that, right? So that there's the apple. There's the just above the white. Maybe I'll do that. So the white thing is that white mortar? No, pestle. No, mortar. That's the apple. I'm going meandering across the cloth, and there I get to the mortar. Mortar. Right? Mortar. What's it look like? Oh, you see me. Hi. You know, I'm not used to teaching without feedback from the students. Are there questions?
Let's do, now would be a good time. Someone had asked earlier,
Sure.
Jan had asked, what's the first, she said rule, but maybe like your objectives. You want to can you pull out those objectives again?
The objectives for the tapestry?
I think overall, yes.
Well, I understand it as three aspects, three objectives that for the tapestry. One, to help us all get stronger in our work, energize the work, have more life force, so that when I'm engaged, there's as much of my vitality in the engagement as possible. And so this first set of exercises are kind of like a smorgasbord or something, you know, like, oh, I like this and I like this. That really worked for me. That one, not so much. And these exercises are only a part of what's out there, right? I'm not dealing with, there are aspects of narrative, conceptual meaning, memory, imagination. I mean, there's all kinds of ways of working, but I'm starting out with working from observation, working non-objectively, working in drawing, working in painting, intuitively, analytic. So trying to explore fast, slow. So sort of setting that up as a way for folks to locate, where's my juice? So that's the first aspect for the tapestry of an objective. Second would be to create an engaged painting community. Folks that are interested in a deeper engagement. What does painting mean? That it's not just that it's, you know, it's a nice thing and I want to make a picture, but like, this is about my life. This is about exploring my life. This is about a more vital engagement and sharing that exploration with other people. So that would be the second objective. The third, I'm calling a recontextualization of painting today. And it's not, I mean, it's an old context. Because it goes back 40,000 years, but you know, gradually over the last couple hundred of years, 200 to 300 years, with the development of a market economy and you know, all the pieces that we're familiar with in our culture, the meaning for painting has become located more and more in our culture through the art market and the gallery structure. And there's nothing inherently wrong with it, but when that becomes the main context, things get distorted. And so I'm trying to figure out, is there some way, not just individually, but can we create some kind of communal structure that gives us a sense of meaning together that doesn't go through and rely on a market and gallery structure. So those are the three things.
Let's also try this, Jordan. If anyone out there is feeling brave and wants to ask a question out loud, one of you, I think, is brave enough to do it. Hit the raise hand button and I can open up the mic, even if you just want to say, hi, Jordan, you're doing a great job.
Thanks, Mark.
Here we go. We got Jan is taking the bait. All right, Jan.
Hi, Jan.
Let me unmute you there and cross our fingers. Sometimes this works. There it is. Say hi, Jan.
Can you hear me now?
You're a little quiet. Maybe speak up a little, Jan.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Now, I would just, I really appreciate with the contour aspect, with the contemplative aspect of your contour drawing, really linking the eye and the hand and kind of, in some ways, bypassing the mind, the judging, yeah, exactly. And
Perfect.
yeah, so thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great. Judy, you're next. Let me get you in here, Judy. Cross our fingers. Judy's a friend of mine. I know her as well.
Me too.
Excellent painter. Excellent painter. Say hi, Judy. Your microphone's on, Judy. Say hi. Did you accidentally raise your hand? I know Judy's not shy. We might have a little technical. The microphone should be on, Judy. If I can't get you in, Decker, you're going to come up next. All right, Judy, you can try coming back in. Let's try Decker here. This is the fun part of all of this, is being able to interact and chat. It is, as we said, it's tough to talk into the void. All right, Decker, you're good. Say hi.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi.
I really love the way you grapple with the difficulties, almost paradoxes of dealing with the vision and the action and talking at the same time. That's terrific.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Also, Dave has a question. He says, how long are you doing this blind contour exercise?
Well, I actually wanted to shift into the next exercise.
Well, he's asking, I think, how long do you stay engaged? I mean, even if we're not in class.
Oh, it's up to you. You know, it's really your deal. It's like, you know, if you're doing a sitting meditation, how long do I want to sit and follow my breath? I don't know. Could be 5 minutes, could be 2, could be 20, you know, I don't know. It's really, it's just about a way of grounding into it. And you may find that it really works for you. And so you'll extend it because you just want to go that way. I mean, I'm going to show you, I'm going to do another exercise that works for my temperament more than this. This is beautiful, but it's a little slow for me. I like to dance more personally. So I'm going to show you where I've taken this in another exercise.
Yeah, let's go forward. That sounds great.
Great.
And so everyone, just keep in mind that you can either raise your hand and ask a question. It's fun for the instructor to have someone to talk to sometimes. And
Totally.
I can feed him the other questions if you have them.
Okay, I'm going to get a piece of paper over there.
And so while you're doing that, Jordan, I just want to let you know everything's coming through great.
Far out.
Your voice is
Thank you,
nice and
Mark.
clear, and everything is. I think at some point people are going to want a glimpse at a bit of your outline because it's so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the eraser? I've got an eraser somewhere.
Here, I can hand you one through the computer.
So, did you want to put up that piece that I sent you? Not the first one, the second one.
Yep. Just give
You
me a
know what I'm
second.
talking
I'll find it. Yep.
So I've got 2 pages for an outline of my notes if people want to see it. I can also, I'm happy to, you know, I can put it up on the Facebook page, or I can send it out with the, you know, the Tapestry emails that I've been sending out. So that, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah. So here, let me just briefly share it, and
Okay.
everyone can at least get a look. And if you're watching on the recording, you can pause, look through these different points. Sorry, the sharing is moving a bit slowly today. Here it comes. So this is kind of the outline for today, but there's the overview at the top. Or actually, maybe even like this, so everybody can see it. Here's that first part, journeying. That's what we're doing now, yeah?
Yeah, but we're at the bottom where I'm actually doing a demo, but I
Okay.
talked about it.
And about recontextualizing, you just reiterated that as well.
Right.
And let me also add this, Jordan, what a refreshing view of the art world, not to think that the gallery is the center of it. That
No, it's not. Right.
drives me a little
It's
crazy.
important, but it's not the center.
Yeah. Yeah, people have been at this long before there were art galleries.
Yes.
All right, so this is just for everyone's information. Again, when you get to the recording, you'll be able to pause and look through. You're getting your money's worth. Jordan has packed this thing. Wonderful information and insight. So here's that first exercise. And actually, I may pause right here. Drawing exercise, working from observation blind. And so now you want to move into the second exercise, Jordan?
No. Oh, well, we're up at the top, working from observation, blind contour drawing, and then moving around still life. So here, keep going down.
Yep.
Go down. You'll see this first demo.
Oh,
I've listed different aspects of this exercise for people to think about while they're doing it. So I want to, be my actual experience. I want to pay attention to my perception, to be present. So marking is a way of strengthening the experience of seeing, et cetera, et cetera. So you guys can take a look at that.
Yeah.
And now I'll move into the second exercise. So that first blind contour is very slow. I'm really slowing down. But I really like when I work listening to music, and I enjoy the energy of the music, and I like moving rather rapidly. But I really also enjoy not worrying about legibility, making it look like something. And that's one of the nice things about the blind contour drawing is I'm taking that off of the equation or out of the equation. I'm just looking and marking. And that comes into this one too. So I'm kind of marking a little more quickly. I'm allowing my eye to meander more quickly and marking with that. And if there was music, you would hear it. Okay, so I'll show you what I'm talking about.
You can put some music on if you want. That might be exciting.
Well, maybe
next time.
We'll get there. Not for now. So this is the apple down here. This is the side of the pink vase. This is the top of it. This is the edge of the fold of the fabric over here. That's the top of the table. Back down to here's the apple, and I'm just bopping around. I'm just it's more like dancing than meditation or something. And this is the bottom of my coffee maker. That's the white thing back there that I just picked up from a thrift store. This is the top. That's the yellow plate apple side of the pot back behind them, back to the apple. This is that white mortar. This is a couple of lemons. And I'm letting my eye move around. And I'm marking in tandem to the way my eye is moving around. So I've integrated my mark and my seeing and allowing it just to be what it is. So I'm not worrying about legibility. I'm not worrying about depiction. I just want to show up, be here, look, and mark. I like it. I like to see, and I like to mark. And like, okay, what is that? What does that do? I don't know, but I enjoy it. And I enjoy using my energy. I enjoy being gestural, right? So here is a way that I've just over time found myself moving towards in my own play. This is a kind of an example of what I mean by finding the things, the formal ways of working that work for you, and then over time integrating them into your way of exploring, your way of working and asking questions and enjoying yourself in the work. And then it's like, oh, that's something. I don't know what that is, but it's sort of still lifey. I mean, okay. And then we can, you know, I can break out an eraser and do the same thing. So here I'm not using the eraser to erase, so to speak. It's another way of just being engaged with the marking, with my seeing. But it ends up, let's say, it ends up cooking the situation more because it's subtractive as a tool. But again, I'm just looking out here. I'm not worrying about this. So again, it's an exercise to allow myself to be as fully as possible in my seeing, my perception, my observation, and my mark. I want my mark and my seeing to be as much one thing as possible, so that my mark becomes intimate with this. I'm trying to collapse all of the distance in a sense.
Jordan, here's a good question from Jennifer. Are you looking at something else when you mark with the eraser? For example, a different value? So when you're using the eraser, is it observational as well?
Yeah, when I'm using the eraser, it's as if, I'm doing the same thing like I was doing with the charcoal. It just happens to be a subtractive tool, but I'm not trying to develop value. I'm just looking at the edges of things, where things are, and marking, as if marking, with the eraser, just like I was doing with the charcoal, just an edge, just like I was doing with the blind contour drawing. I'm just looking at the contours. It's just coming out like that. Then I'm allowing that to happen. I'm inviting it.
Great. I think Laura has an out loud question. Let's see if we can get Laura.
Sure.
Give it just a second, Laura.
Okay.
Hold on. All right, Laura, you're good. Go ahead. Oh, Laura's microphone might be turned off. See, this is always the danger. All right, Jan just put up her hand. Laura, we'll try to catch you on this next go around here. Jan's got a question. And by the way, Jordan, what a wonderful thing to watch. This is
sweet. Thank you.
All right, sit tight, Jan. I'll get you in here. Let's hope.
Myself. Can you hear me now?
Hi.
Here we go. Yep.
Okay, so I think I'm really seeing how different the felt sense is between the slow contour drawing and this more bebop kind of thing you're doing.
Right.
And how each of them sort of get past the mental piece in really different ways.
Right.
Really different ways. That's great.
Absolutely. Sweet. That's right.
Yeah, I agree.
That's right. And we're different. You know, it's like if you think of mindfulness practice, there's a contemplative, but there's also a devotional or a blissful. Everyone's energy is different. Everyone's path is different. Yeah.
All right, so Laura, let's try you again, see if we can get you in. Thank you, Jan. Laura, go ahead, give it a try. I think sometimes you have to activate the microphone on your device. We'll get this sorted out as the weeks go on, for sure. All right. Sorry, Laura, didn't come through. I'll have to do some canned questions when those things don't work. Jan has a really good point too. There can be a ponderous quality that can develop with slow practice. Wonderful. So do you want to, what do you want to do, Jordan? We've got about enough
So,
time. Yeah.
where are we? What time is it? I have
I'd
no
say,
idea.
I'd say about 15 minutes left.
Right. Well, those are the two exercises for this first part that, you know, that I would like to present here as the demo. What else? I'd like to invite you all to practice that during the week. And those of you that are inclined to put it up on the Facebook page, and I'll be going through the Facebook page, and you're all welcome to comment on your own and each other's work, and I'll be doing that. I can continue to draw. I don't know.
I think we could wrap it up. I've seen.
I have a few. One sec. Let me. So, yeah. Okay. And right, you know, how I understand the Facebook page of the Tapestry of Painting is more as a way to share the engagement, the journey, the process, not so much with, you know, finished product as such, not so much, you know, like, is it good or bad? Just, you know, what are we doing and how are we going, and sharing that challenge together. Also, the recordings will be available in the next day or two, I think, right, Mark? We should be able to.
Yeah, and actually probably even, you know, later today.
Great. Wonderful. So we'll be able to send that out. I know there were a number of people that couldn't make it to the live webinar, that I'll be sending that out for them and all of you as well. Also, I hope you saw in the email, the last session was originally scheduled for March 3rd, and I'm going to be teaching down in Florida at the Armory Arts Center in West Palm Beach. So I need to move it to March 10th, and I'm sorry for any inconvenience if that caused any of you, but it will be recorded as well. And please, I'd love to get feedback, what's working, what might be improved, all of that. This is all live teaching through online. I've never done it, so this is all new.
We've got a couple more questions if you want to.
Oh, sure, those. Please.
So David asks, then, is the idea to use your photograph as a reference or to set up your own still life yourself?
Oh, you mean this still life?
Yeah.
I would suggest using your own physical situation, your own still life, because there's something about exploring visually a three-dimensional situation that's way more interesting than exploring a flat image. I mean, that has its own possibilities looking at a photograph, but my suggestion would be set up some kind of still life at home. And it doesn't even need to be it could be anything that you're looking at visually that's in three-dimensional space that you find interesting. You want to be curious. You want to see what you're seeing. You want to look at that thing. You know, so if you've got stuff that you find, you know, cool to look at, you know, throw it together. Play until some situation looks interesting. Or if you're just in your house and you, oh, look at that corner with the chair and the plant. That's kind of interesting. You know, and you just start working with that. Yeah.
So I think we have Laura. Let's see if we can unmute Laura. She keeps trying. Laura, say hi. Let's see if it works.
Hi.
There it is.
Hi.
All right. So it works with my headphones. That's good. So my question has to do with the second exercise.
Okay.
I've done a lot of study where the teacher has focused on getting things sitting in space correctly. So you
Right.
really, sort of like it's a checkerboard, going back in perspective, like the
Okay.
objects are kind of sitting on a checkerboard. So doing this exercise, I should really be trying to, I mean, if that pops in my mind, maybe I mark it, but otherwise, like, am I just really, it's like a free flow of what, and try to engage seeing and
Yeah.
not thinking about that stuff.
Nope.
Okay.
You know, if down the line you want to find a way of putting those things together, great. Far
Yeah.
out. You know, that could be cool. But this is just an opening up. I don't need anything to be determined. I just want to groove on my vision and let the mark occur and play. So I'm just, it's like, yeah.
Because I actually feel like all that emphasis on that has cut all my juice. Not cut all my juice, but it cut a lot of my juice.
Yeah,
So that's why I'm doing
the
this.
situation. Right.
Yeah, because I'm so like, oh, I got to get it right. I got to get it right in space.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so this is just opening it up. And, there may be a part of me that wants to get it right. And, but maybe in tandem with cutting loose and, just enjoying myself and just seeing what happens. And so down the line, I may want to figure out how to put those pieces together or not.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank
Cool.
you. Okay.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Okay, I think that'll do it. Jordan, if you want to wrap it up. Excellent.
Great.
job.
Well, this has been a pleasure. Sorry I can't see you all. It would be nice to, at some point, do that. Figure that out.
We can do it. Yeah, we can do it one of these weeks for sure.
Yeah, sweet. And thank you all for participating, for responding, for joining me in this. And I think it's going to be a great adventure, and see where it all goes. So please drop me a line and feedback, and I look forward to the next piece and next week and the next exercise. Okay.